with the Divine Creatrix Circle. We had a break last week because I never realized we were Monday and I completely skipped it. So that was my bad. It's the first time that happens, feeling like we were another day. I kept referring to Monday as Sunday, like 3 days prior. And so that's what happened. But we're here now, and I feel like it was divinely guided because I don't know about you, but the full moon in Pisces was intense in so many ways. And in the last 2 years, the full moon in Pisces has been transformational and a portal to so many things in my life. And so I feel like this one is going to be really good as well. So, yeah, let me know in the chat how you experienced this full moon in Pisces. I know a lot of people were feeling tired. Other people, like me, were feeling super energized and buzzed with the intensity of the energy. But let me know how it went for you and what's on the other side of this full moon in Pisces. Today, as you can see by the title, I want to talk about the number one code when it comes to embodying your higher self. That was inspired by one conversation I had with a friend, and the conversation was surrounding the topic of dating men that you know are not 100% aligned, or you know it's not the person for you, but because there is no other choice, you kind of settle into it because it's convenient. And of course, you can gain many things from staying with someone or seeing someone that is not necessarily your ideal, and you know it's not for your highest good, but because that person is there in that moment in your life, you're like, but I have no other choice, so why not? And that's what I want to talk about, because in the past, when I was in abusive relationships and when I used to attract people that would be toxic and not for my highest good, that was one of the reasoning that I would use. I would prefer staying in that situation than choosing the void. I would prefer to stay in the comfort of being with someone, even though it was not good for me at all, even it was draining me, hurting me, depleting me, but it was safer to stay in that than to choose the void, to choose the unknown, to choose to be alone and not knowing what would happen if I would be single for the rest of my life, if I would not meet someone as good as them, which in the tangible facts, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And the crazy thing is that I used to do that in all other aspects of my life. Same thing when I was trying to lose weight, when I was trying to build my business. There are so many things where we are so comfortable in what we know that we settle for less than what we deserve and what we desire. So today I want to talk about the shift that happened within me that allowed me not only to stop attracting toxic partners, but also really reward me completely into attracting partners that were for my highest good. And that is how I was able to manifest my soulmate. Not even a year and a half after, actually a year after my breakup, but it was not till the end of the year that he was my boyfriend. But I attracted him almost a year from my breakup. So that's what I want to share with you, because since integrating this code, I've not only manifested my boyfriend, I've up-leveled my life in so many ways, especially my confidence, my worth, and my connection with the divine and my higher self. So it's pretty simple. I want to thank my friend for having that conversation and inspiring that, because that's really it. She was saying to me, it's more convenient and comfortable to see that person, even though I know it's not working and it's not what is good for me, but I have no other choice. So why not? And I want to be really honest with you. Drop me a yes in the chat if I can be really honest with you in this moment. Can I be honest? We always have the choice. We always have the choice. What is blocking you from seeing your own potential, from seeing the potential that exists in this moment in your reality, is thinking you don't have the choice. Is thinking that your current reality and what you've known is the only choice. But if I'm honest with you, and myself, if I'm honest with you, and I'm honest with myself, that is total illusion. That is a total lie. That is something the ego will use to keep you in your comfort zone because it feels uncomfortable to step into the unknown. And that's one thing that will be forever true. Your ego feels uncomfortable with not knowing because your ego is here to help you survive and navigate in your physical reality. And if it doesn't know how to feel safe because it doesn't know what could happen, it will make you feel fear so that you stay in what you know. That will be forever true. Whether you're starting right here, right now to step into your higher self, whether you've been doing it for years, whether you have manifested your most magical life and want to manifest another up leveling, it will always be true. You will always feel fear when you're meeting discomfort, when you're meeting the unknown. So it's not true that you have no other choice. You always have. And the truth is that we live in a multi-dimensional reality. You are a multi-dimensional being, and we live in an abundant, infinite realm of possibilities. So in this moment, in this split second, there is millions and millions of possibilities that are available to you in the way you attract the things you want, in the way your reality shifts into the next second. The reason why we experience the same thing over and over again and we feel like we have no other choice is because we keep choosing the same choice. We keep choosing the same choice, and so that next second becomes the same thing that the second before, and through our physical mind we experience it as the same, but it's not the same. We just took the past, brought it into the future, experienced it again, and we do that over and over and over again. And that's why we keep continuing experiencing the same thing. But it's not because we don't have the choice. Because if you choose something different, your life will be different. That is the pure truth, the pure truth. And what I want to bring here, the code that totally changed my life, and that no matter how much my ego tried to convince me with that lie, it no longer works. I no longer believe it because I know this. When I was convinced and committed to never, never, never attract or be in another toxic and abusive relationship, I vowed to myself after the breakup with my ex that I will never again experience that. And so sometimes we have to choose the loop so much and dig our hole so deep that the suffering is so intense that then we wake up to the fact that we no longer want to choose that. Sometimes that's what we need. But I'm here to be the reminder and the walking evidence that you don't have to go till the end. You don't have to go to the rock bottom of suffering to decide to choose something different. We don't have to do that. All the choices are available here. If I had chosen to do things differently, a year in being in my toxic relationship, I would have saved 3 years of suffering. But that's not what I did because that was not my path, so I'm okay with that. But at the same time, I was so used to needing so much suffering to change. But we don't need that. So let me tell you about the code. The moment I committed about that, about no longer ever experiencing a toxic relationship and attracting the love I wanted and desired and deserved, is when I started choosing the love I wanted, I desired, and deserved. And just like my friend, when I told her, you have another choice. You have more than a choice. She was like, yeah, but I don't know about it because I've never experienced it. So I don't have a choice. And that is another lie that our ego loves to play on us. The other choice is yourself. The other choice is your dream. The other choice is the thing you want to experience. That is the other choice. Every time I would connect to the feeling of what it would be like to be in a relationship that I felt supported, cared about, loved, cherished, so much love, to experience so much love, true love, no trauma bonding, no karmic partners, but real soulmate love. Every time I would connect within me to that idea, I would know what it would be like. And if I'm honest with myself, and if you're honest with yourself, you already know your deepest desires because they keep calling you again and again and again. You keep receiving their essence. And maybe even when you were a kid, as a woman, as girls, we start dreaming about our Prince Charming since we're like 2 years old. So we know what it will feel like to be with a partner that is good for us. We know. Maybe we have not experienced it in our physical reality, but within, in the deepest part of our heart, of our soul, we know. And that applies for every other aspect, every other dream. But for me, that was really the experience that allowed me to integrate this code into my life and that allowed me to up-level my life in all aspects simultaneously as my love life, my relationship with money, the way I was attracting and manifesting things, my confidence, my magnetism, and so on. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so that's why I want to talk about this today, because this is the code. This is the code. Since we're a multidimensional being, that means that our future self also exists in this reality, also exists in this split second. Our future self that already has everything that you desire in this moment that you don't have in this moment knows what it looks like, knows what it feels like to experience that, knows what is happening. And if we quiet our mind a little second, if we stop focusing on the only choice we have, if we stop focusing on that and putting our blinders and open our mind for a split second, come back to our hearts, we will know, we will feel. Let me know in the chat if that is resonating with you and if you needed to hear that. Let me know in the chat if that is resonating. Drop a yes, a heart, whatever you want. But let me know. And Yeah, so we will know if we stop for a second focusing on the things that are not working. And if you start choosing your dream, choosing that desire every second of your life, independently of what's happening in your current reality, your reality will become your desired reality. It will. Because just like you are choosing the same choice, the same experience, the same timeline over and over again, and experiencing it and manifesting it into form, the moment you start choosing your desired reality again and again and again, you will move it into form. And I'm going to give you the example of how it manifested, happened in my life through dating, because I feel like it's a simple way to truly get it. After my breakup with my ex, after getting out of that toxic relationship, as I told you, I vowed to myself that I would no longer settle for something like that. And of course, I have to walk my talk and talk my walk. And so after starting dating a few months, after taking a few months healing, doing my work, I felt open to dating again. And so I started seeing people, going on dates and stuff like that, talking and messages. And if I was clear with me, my experience, the experience I wanted to experience will be shown to me by the way my current reality makes me feel. And so, if I would talk with someone, if I would be in a date with someone, and the emotions that would come from that interaction would be of contraction, meaning pain, suffering, not feeling good, feeling similar emotions that I felt in my last relationship, it was clear to me that I was not in the direction of my desired reality. I was in the direction of what I've known in the past if I kept choosing that. And so, quickly in my interactions, in the dynamics with the people I was dating, I would quickly know when I was still attracting people that were a copy paste of my ex or in the same vibe, if I can say, of my ex. And so for me, it was clear that it was better to be alone, to skip that, to close the door, to no longer talk to this person, to move on, even if that meant to be alone, even if that meant not knowing when I would meet someone else. It would be better for me to close the door and choose my truth. And so it's not that I didn't have any other choice of being with that person or that new person in front of me and being like, yeah, but there's no other option for me right now. So why not continue talking to this person because there's no other option right now? It was clear to me that the moment it felt different than what I knew in my heart I wanted, then it was not for me. And so in that moment, even though I didn't know exactly what would happen, I would no longer settle to choosing a false potential of someone instead of dating their reality. And so I started dating the reality of the people I was meeting. And if in this current moment it wouldn't match with what I wanted in my heart, it was not for me. It was not for me. What I used to do in the past is feel the discomfort, feel the disconnection from what I wanted and what was happening. And I would then take my desire and project it in the future with that person. Oh, but in this moment, he did that because blah, 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 blah. But when this happened, then I will feel like this with this person. When he will be there, when he will do that, then that is going to be possible. I kept dating their potential in the future moving my desire in the future for the hopes it would happen in the future, instead of being in this split second, acknowledging what I was choosing, meaning the discomfort, the abuse, the lack of respect. If I would be honest with myself and realize it was not a match with how I want to be treated, with the relationship I actually want, then I would have chosen differently at that moment, and I would have chosen my dream instead of a false reality. And that is what I want to bring with you. The code is to keep choosing your dream every split second, because it's here. The option, the choice is here. Even though it's not yet formed in your physical reality, the dream, the essence, the spirit, the energy of your dream is alive in this moment. You cannot perceive it with your eyes because it's not formed and manifested in your physical reality. So your physical mind cannot comprehend it or see it, so it's not there. But if you come back into your higher self and your higher mind, it is here. You can feel it. You can sense it because you already know what is your desired reality. And so you have to keep choosing that instead of what is present in your physical reality, because your higher self is letting you know. When you're experiencing that discomfort of like, oh my God, it's so scary. If I stop dating this person, then I'll be alone. Then I don't know when I'm going to meet someone. All of that fear, your body is letting you know that it's a lie. It's a lie. But if you feel into what you're experiencing in this moment with that person that is not a match and that is not the person you actually want to spend your life with, if you're honest with yourself, if you tune into that and tune into your true heart desire, soul desire, you'll know it's not that. And you'll know that if you keep choosing what it's not your soul desire, you won't manifest it. You won't manifest it. And this is the biggest intervention that I like to bring when it comes to really getting out of the deception and the illusion of the ego. We feel like if we keep choosing that just because it's comfortable right now, then when that person, that soulmate, that perfect partner for us will show up, then we'll switch. Then we will close that door and go into the another one. But the truth is that while you keep choosing that, you keep filling the space in your reality with that situation, with that person, with that circumstance. And so the universe will try to bring what you actually want to you. But there's no space. There is no space for that thing to land in your reality. There's no space for that thing to take form in your reality because you're choosing something else, and that something else is taking the space. Energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, what you choose is what you create. And because the universe loves you so much, it will continue to give you what you choose because you have free will. The universe is always listening, but it doesn't care about what you desire in your heart if in physical terms you keep choosing the same thing. It will give you who you are being. It will give you the energy you keep putting out, you keep focusing on. That is what the universe will give you, because it doesn't speak the same language as you. It doesn't speak English, French, Italian. It doesn't speak words. It speaks energy. And to bring the energy you want to create, you must choose it, you must embody it, you must step into it. You must become that energy so that you start attracting the situations that match that energy, the people and their circumstances. So again, you always have a choice. In that moment when you're dating I'm using the dating, but it's the same thing for anything. I'm going to use others' example in a minute. If you're dating someone and you keep feeling sad, you keep feeling disappointed, you keep feeling not being chosen, you keep feeling being abandoned or rejected because that person doesn't really care, you have another choice. You can choose your dream. You can choose the desired relationship that you want. And in this moment, because your desired relationship, the perfect partner, is not there, is to choose it so that it has the space to land. Is to choose to clear the space for that thing to land. And that is the choice you have. But you have to remember that you're choosing your dream. Because the ego will use 1 million reasons and stories and narratives to keep you in your comfort zone. No, but imagine you never meet someone, but imagine he's not that bad. But imagine, and all of the stories. But the truth is that as long as you keep choosing that, you will continue to experience that. That is the hard pill. That is the hard truth. That is the hard truth. And if I can use it in another example, I'm scanning my life away to see if there's an example that would be good. An example with money. An example with money. For a long time, and I still do that at some extent, for sure, when you want to experience certain things, you want to do certain things, you want the freedom to experience certain things, but you don't have the money to experience them. So you can't because you don't have the money. And I used to do that a lot of not allowing myself to desire an experience, to desire going to an event, desiring having that thing because I didn't want to be disappointed. And so my first reaction is like, I don't have the money. So I would cut off myself from the possibility of experiencing that thing. Let's say there was a concert I wanted to go and the tickets were a certain price and I didn't have that money at that moment to buy them, then I would be like, I can't. And go into my comfort zone of like, oh my God, I don't have money. Life is scarce. Why me? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure you can relate. We've all been there. So in that second, again, we feel like we have no other choice because we don't have the money. So we don't have the money, I can't. That is the only choice. But again, if you keep choosing that dream, if you keep choosing the energy behind the thing you want to manifest, the energy behind it is freedom, abundance, prosperity, wealth. It's the energy of feeling like you can do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it, right? No matter what you want to do in life. I really think that's the thing we all aspire to have the freedom and the abundance of doing whatever we want whenever we want it. And if you want that for yourself, drop a yes to reclaim that energy because that's what is going to make it happen. So again, in that situation, when you're like, or that was like, because as I say, it still happens to me at a certain level. Every time you up level, even though I had, in this moment, I have more money than I ever had before and creating more money than I used to do. You still use those stories to a new level. So that's why we have to be super conscious of the stories we tell ourselves. We have to be conscious because the ego will continue to play its pattern as long as we let it. You can manifest all the things you want. You said one time, you said, when I'll have this, then blah, blah, blah. Then you manifest those things and you replay the same story. When I'll have this, blah, 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 then it doesn't stop. If you don't stop the record playing, it will continue. So that's why awareness is so big here. Awareness is so big. But let's say you don't have the money to buy the tickets. The automatic response will be, I can't. And going into scarcity, contraction, sadness, disappointment, all of those things. And I'm a big believer that it's so important to feel into those emotions. So it's not about denying them. It's not about repressing them. I really want to make that clear, because it's not about bypassing our emotions. It's not about doing spiritual bypassing. So it's about acknowledging what we're feeling through it, but simultaneously not not continuing to fuel that. You can feel what you're experiencing without adding to the fire. And that's the difference between somatic work, feeling your emotions coming into your body, and victimhood. You can feel through the pain, the suffering, the unfairness, the closure you feel, the heartache. You can feel through it 100% without feeling victim of it and without adding to the story that you're a victim. And that's the difference between being a victim mindset and just embodying your truth. The truth is that right now, this is your reaction. And if you're triggering this way, it's because there's something for you to uncover. And so, yes, we have to take into account our current reality. That is what's happening. That's how I feel. And this is what I want. I can feel through what I'm experiencing right now. And this is what I want to go. And this is where I want to move. And this is where I want to direct my attention, and this is how I want to transmute this energy. So again, little rant there, but you don't have the money for the tickets. You can't. There's another choice. There's the choice of choosing the abundance that is here, choosing the freedom that is here, even though you're not experiencing it in your current reality. And just staying open to that possibility. That is your only job. You keep choosing the possibility of it happening in this moment. And the truth is that even if it doesn't happen right now, it doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. Like I told you, I manifested my now boyfriend, my soulmate, a year after the breakup. So I did that for a whole year, choosing and choosing and choosing. And when I would close doors, I would be alone for a while, but I would keep choosing that reality. I was not like, oh, now I'm alone. It didn't happen. I chose my dream and it's not yet there. So that means it's not working. I'm going to go back into my old ways of being. No, I was fully committed to choosing that dream. And so I kept choosing that and kept choosing that and kept choosing that. And that manifested into doing things that made me feel that way in my own company, by myself, and not focusing on needing someone to do that. Since I was connecting with the energy, I was embodying the energy in my life, in my reality, without needing this thing. Because again, what you want is not the thing itself, is how you're going to feel when you experience it, when you live it in your physical reality. That is why it's already here. The energy is already alive. The possibility is already alive. It's just not yet manifested into form. So when you stay open to the possibility of feeling freedom, abundance, you don't know if you are going to go to the concert And maybe you won't, but that doesn't mean you're not in abundance, or that you failed, or that the universe conspired against you. That doesn't mean that. But there's much more chances that you attract a miracle that allows you to get into the concert. You win a giveaway. Someone calls you and gives you a ticket. Whatever the ways it could happen. There's more chances, much more chances that it happens when you stay open than when you close. There's more chances that it happens when you choose that choice, choose that decision, than if you choose, I can't, I don't have any money. And I'm sure you can feel the difference in the frequency within you when you close and when you open. If you're watching the replay, and for those who are here in this moment, drop a yes in the chat if you can feel the difference. When you close from your desire, when you close from your dream, from your higher self, and stay in your limited self perspective, versus when you open to your dream, you open to your desire, and you open to your higher self. You can feel stuck in one, and you can feel this possibility in the other one. And for me, a last example that can help you integrate this, energy is moving. It's when I was trying to lose weight. I would do frantic things to try to lose weight. I would do intense cardio, even though I disliked it so much. I hated cardio, but I was forcing myself to do cardio because that was a way to lose weight. I was doing intense diet, taking slim pills and crazy stuff to try to lose weight because I was desperate. I was acting from the place of me that was limited and not attuned to the possibility of actually having that desire come into form. And so I would always do intense, desperate things. I would have no result, and I would be like, oh, it doesn't work. It's impossible for me. I don't have the genes to have abs. I don't have the genes to be fit. So whatever. And I would stop going to the gym. I would stop everything I was doing simultaneously, and I would go back into my old ways of being, and I will binge eat, blah, 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 blah. I would close myself from that desire. And in the first place, I was acting from desperation, not inspiration. But 6 years forward, I had an internal shift when I realized that I was so fed up of pressuring myself like that, of doing things that didn't feel good, that again, I had to bring myself to the worst pain to realize this. So again, you don't have to get there. You don't have to get there. If you start integrating this, you don't have to get to rock bottom to change your life. You can change it way before that, because we always have the choice. So after experiencing so much suffering for 6 years, I was like, wait, I'm so tired of this. I'm tired of feeling so bad inside. I'm tired of feeling so disgusted inside, not only from the way I treat myself, but the habits that I have in my life. I'm so fed up of feeling like this. I want to feel good. And in that split second, what happened is that instead of acting from desperation, I started acting from inspiration. Instead of contracting and closing myself from what I wanted and feeling so victim of my circumstances, I started allowing my higher self to come in. I started choosing my higher self instead of my circumstances. And so I started doing things that felt good. I started eating healthy because it felt good. if I wasn't honest with myself, when I would binge eat, I would feel terrible. When I would eat to the limit, I was full, and a way that I was feeling good, I was feeling good. And so I kept choosing feeling good, feeling good, feeling good, feeling good. And a year after that, I had manifested my dream body. It only took me less than a year to have abs. And for 6 years, I did the most intense, desperate things to get them. But because I was not seeing instant result, I would then create the story that this was impossible for me. But that was just a lie. A true fat lie. True fat lie. I was just acting from desperation. So, of course, that is what I was manifesting in my reality. But it all happened because I started acting from inspiration, being inspired by my own dreams and desires, my own future self. That I stopped limiting myself for my limited self. I can't talk about today. I started allowing myself to be inspired by my future self instead of being desperate by my limited self. Let that sink in. Let that land. Because if you start integrating this today, your life will change so fast. So fast. You can't even imagine how fast and how easy it's gonna be than when you start implementing this. So this is it for today. I hope this was eye-opening because it was for me in my life, and it was the reason I was able to manifest pretty much everything that I've wanted till this point. And I know it is the thing that will allow me to manifest everything I desire now. Simple truth, hard truth. Choose what inspires you. Choose your dream. Choose your higher self. That is always the choice that is present in this moment, even though you don't see it with your physical eyes. It's here. It's here. So that is it for today. Let me know in the comments how this inspired you. Open your perspective, and most importantly, save this video. Come back to the Facebook group if you're watching through Facebook, so that you can come back in the comment section and let us know what happens when you start implementing this. Please, I want to know, because I know for sure that magic is going to be real quick when you start implementing this. So that is it, and I hope you have a magical day. And until then, until next week, remember that every day is an opportunity to create magic. Every day is a new opportunity to create magic. Write it somewhere, put it everywhere in your house, so that you remember that you always have the choice to create magic. It's always here. Bye.